Good morning. Welcome to the John Mendola Show here in WILK. 10:02. Lots to talk about this morning, including the West Scranton girls softball team. They'll be live in studio with us. We'll talk some softball and some baseball in the Wyoming Valley and the Lackawanna conferences as well. And we'll also talk a little bit about the Bill Howerton Strikeout Cancer Weekend, which is going on. Jamie Shevchik, the head coach from Keystone Baseball, will join us this morning. Rashid Moore on hold from East Stroudsburg University. He's got some good things coming up. But first, let's check in with legendary coach Denny Douds from the East Stroudsburg University football team. Good morning, Coach.
Morning, John. Great morning in the Poconos.
Yes, sir. Well, we're excited for you for another spring game. Here we are, 2017, and what do we have in store for 2017 here in the spring?
Well, we have a lot of young guys coming back. We ran into some difficulty last year. We got chewed up a little bit with some injury factors. Played a lot of kids. Probably should have redshirted some of them. And yet they came into spring ball with some experience. They had a great off-season program in the weight room. And they started the spring practice on the 27th of March. And we had 14 great days of practice. And they've been working hard, and we've been improving as a football team.
Coach, you're trying to maximize your time in the spring, and you've been at this a long time. Talk about your philosophy in the spring, what you try to get out of your guys.
Well, John, first of all, the NCAA changed some rules on us this year. One of the rules that's been in vogue has always been you have 29 days to get 15 practices in. 3 of those practices would be in helmets, the rest in pads. Well, this year, you could have 8 days in pads. The other 7 days had to be in helmets only, and you could not hit 2 days in succession. If you had a practice on Tuesday, you couldn't hit on Wednesday. If you scrimmaged on Saturday, you had Sunday off, come back on Monday, you could hit there. But you could only have 8 days in pads. So therefore, it forced all of our coaches to go back and reevaluate how we can teach our kids our total system with pads and without pads. We also figured, too, that as a coaching staff, hey, what are we being a little light on in practicing? And if we're light, everybody else is probably going to be light in it. Then how can we take advantage of that in the fall? So it's been an exciting year in the spring for us, and our kids are very enthused about the opportunities we have in the fall.
Coach, a little cooler today. The weather changed. It seemed like, the football gods gave us a little cool weather at 6:30 tonight. It's going to feel like football season.
It really is. I mean, you say, what's great? Probably 55 to 60, and, hey, that's about what it is right here. So you couldn't ask for a better day to be able to play. But then again, hey, any day you get to play the great game is always fun. We're
talking with Denny Douds from East Stroudsburg University, their annual spring game coming up tonight. Coach, let's talk a little bit about offensively. Who are some guys that you're excited about here on the offensive side of the ball?
Well, I think you can talk about a couple people. If you talk about the offensive line, we have most of those guys back. We have Mike Fleming from Easton, Pennsylvania. He's been with us for 2 years. He's been an all-PSAC offensive lineman for 2 years. We have Tim DiGiorgio at quarterback, transfer from Temple, back with us this year. Ben Mosier from down in the Harrisburg area has been competing well with that particular position. We have Tim Wilson, a wide receiver who is a senior and one of our only upper-class offensive wide receivers that we have, although the young kids gained a lot of experience last year, but they're still freshman, sophomore type kids in dealing with that. Tim's been with us. He has outstanding speed. And, of course, being a veteran, he knows what to do at the right time and being able to handle that. We have Devon Ackerman as offensive center, and Norm Rogers, an all-PSAC offensive guard, coming back as well. Levi Murphy's the other offensive guard. He was a redshirt freshman last year starting for us. So that's really where we are on our offense. We lost Robert Healy, the young man who broke our rushing record. We're trying to find somebody to replace him, and I don't know whether you replace a guy like that. You find another running back who has talent that they can exhibit in when called upon. We've been doing that. So that's where we are on offense.
Coach, how about over on the defensive side of the ball? What do you return?
Well, on defense, we have some linebackers right there. We have certainly some guys with Wine and Dakota Everett and Sekou Jones back at linebacker, and those guys are good linebackers in the PSAC. We have Joe Adomaday at defensive end coming back, and we're looking forward to that. That's about where we are. We have some young kids on defense. A number of them got experience last year because we started 32 different guys on defense last year because of getting chewed up a little bit. But they all got experience, and they all think they can start, so you can need to say there's a lot of competition going on there on the defense.
Coach, we go back a long time as far as recruiting over the years and where you're at. Here in 2017, what's that recruiting model look like for East Stroudsburg University and getting out and meeting families and inviting them in, and what kind of kid are you getting in the PSAC right now?
Well, I'll tell you what. One, it's always it's fun to get out and do that. You get to meet a lot of different people. You get to see, you walk into schools. You get to see alums from East Stroudsburg University, and we also get to talk to some fine young men and try to say that East Stroudsburg University is a great place to get a college education and play in a stable football program. And in doing that, we have come forth. We think we've got some great kids coming in, but they all got to play first in dealing with that. We've helped ourselves, I think, in the offensive line. We got about 5 of those guys. The smallest kid's about 6'4", about 285. The tallest kid's about 6'8", and he's 344 and played center on his high school basketball team. So we're excited about that aspect right there in dealing with that. We got a couple quarterbacks coming in, one from East Stroudsburg South, so we didn't have to go too far to recruit that young man. And Jake Sarai is a young man that's about 6'4", and he's about 225. And we found a kid that's an all-state quarterback in the state of Indiana. Now, we never go that far, but because of some circumstances, his family's moving to the Lehigh Valley. And he came in and liked what he saw, and he's going to be one of our freshman quarterbacks candidates right there. So that tells you a few guys that we got coming in, and our coaches really they scoured the region of New York, New Jersey, and eastern Pennsylvania, and I don't think they missed too many high schools getting into to see some young men, and they did a great job recruiting.
Well, Coach, always great catching up with you. We appreciate the whole rundown there at East Stroudsburg University. Have fun tonight, all right?
Hey, look forward to it, and if you're around, stop in and see us.
Okay.
Thanks.
Denny Douds, the head coach there at East Stroudsburg University. Again, tonight, 6:30. Note that fall game, it is homecoming. They will take on Bloomsburg University October 21st at home at ESU. That is a 4:05 start. So one thing to keep in mind there, October 21st, marking down Bloomsburg East Stroudsburg football.